Hello and welcome back to match day number 15 here. We've got compLexity up against Renegades. The Renegades really having a pretty disappointing start to today. compLexity, on the other hand, they've come in all guns firing, really all P250s firing. And
yeah, I've just rewatched that moment and it hurt just as much as the first time, to be honest. Renegades throwing away Dust 2 a little bit there.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Renegades didn't look awful. Apart from in that P258,
yeah, okay.
They looked pretty bad, but
okay.
there was at least some things that they could take away from that. It's not like compLexity just completely wiped the floor with Renegades there. So
only in some of the rounds.
Only in some of the rounds. But definitely there's potential for Renegades to come back into this one. Maybe that's just my Australian bias talking, but I hope that's
definite hashtag bias caster right there. But let's take a look at our schedule, Elfish guys. So on Dust 2, that's where we started. That was compLexity's map pick, and they won 16-10. We head on to Mirage, one of Renegades' favourites here. We'll see what the Australians can do, see if they can bring this back to a one-on-one. A little bit later on, we'll be up against Selfless and Spice. They'll be starting on Train, then heading on over to Cobble to finish off the day.
So I mean, Dust 2 was compLexity's pick, so fair enough that they pick up the victory there. Now
you say that, but it's also Dust 2. Like, it's
I'm
not
just
like
trying to take away something, please.
Well, Nuke only just joined the rotation, which was ages ago. But you know, there's not.
I have never said that. I have never said that in my life. Anyway, the Renegades, this time on Mirage, the onus is on them to pick this one up. They have to at least come out of this with a 1-1. Like, a 1-1 is excusable. It's not good. It's excusable.
Yeah.
But if they get 2-0'd here by compLexity, that's just an awful result, especially considering the form that they've been in.
Yeah, well, it's less than ideal. It's hard when you go up and you beat good teams and then you throw it away, I suppose. But to be fair, and I gave compLexity a hard time yesterday, and I said, look, compLexity, you're going to get 2-0'd. And they didn't. They came back. They went 1-1. They brought it back into overtime. They won overtime convincingly.
Yeah.
Up against Echo Fox. And they played some really good CS. So today, maybe they're just finding form here. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe they're as we progress into the later parts of the season. I don't know. I guess 2 maps is really, you can't take away from 2 maps that that's the case.
No.
But if they find a third here against Renegades, then it's a good start.
Well, it definitely would have been a decent start to, you know, the last couple of weeks here for compLexity. Obviously, coming into this one, we both expected that Renegades were going to have a bit of an advantage, but definitely the form that Android X23 showed yesterday, heading into today, has probably improved, I would say. He's looked really good on that B-bomb side. He looked almost unshakable. Ape was doing good work, as you saw as well, with that P250 in particular, but definitely across the board, he was a strong player there as well for compLexity. So things are looking difficult here for Renegades. The AWP from Surreal has been pretty decent as well from compLexity there on Dust 2, and it should be once again here on Mirage, another AWP-centric map.
Yeah, it is, which is often why Renegades like it, right? Because they've got now 2 AWPs back on the team ready to go, and 2 very good AWP players traditionally.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the double AWP didn't really work out all that well for them in the first half.
It did 3 rounds, worked for 3 rounds, I think. Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Maybe it didn't justify the investment there for the Renegades. At least something has to change into this sun here in the second map, because definitely to go down like that again to compLexity, not good enough.
Yeah, it certainly would be less than ideal, and it would even them up. I think they've got 7 wins, well now 6 losses. That'd be 7-7 after all of this. So even in wins and losses, probably not where you want to be if you want to get through to finals. But we are underway here, ladies and gentlemen. The pistol round is live. Renegades and compLexity here on Mirage, our second map of the day. The Australians really looking for revenge here, but compLexity, they've been in form, at least this week.
Yeah, this week they've looked all right. But we'll see if they're going to be able to continue that, and it seems that will be the case, as Ustillo is just going to be caught out there in the apartments. Android X23 getting the opening frag here on Mirage, and the bomb going to be very easily planted on the B-bomb site. Renegades in a really poor position right now.
Yeah, less than ideal for them, and the bomb plant going to go down very, very quickly in this round. They're going to try and push in through short B. They find 1 frag. Surreal goes down. Ape goes down as well. So this is a little bit better here for Renegades. Going to try and trace down Android as well. They do find him. And Def now the last one left alive. We see 2 frags on both Ricky and Azza. And the last player up here, all of them going to chase him down. What's he going to do? Is he going to get... Oh, Ricky with the knife.
Ooh. 6 HP. What a man, Ricky. What a man.
Just got it. Is he going to have time?
Is he? No?
I don't think so.
He got the knife kill at least. I got too excited about that. compLexity will get the pistol round.
It shouldn't take 3 people to run up into apartments and find the last frag of the round so that you can get the defuse
Renegades didn't buy a kit into that one, did they? Well.
They didn't have a kit when they needed. That's all that really matters. And, yeah, compLexity with a pistol round here, starting off very well on the T side of Mirage. Again, I don't know. I don't see how you need 3 people to chase him down. Obviously, you want the frag. The first 2 did die.
Yeah.
So if Ricky wasn't there, they wouldn't have found that frag. But still, now they're going to buy out some deagles here. And very quickly going to take a bit of damage as well. It looks like it's going to be starting off towards the B site, 2 mid, 2 towards B, 1 coming back towards T spawn. Perhaps a rotation around to mid or the A side is on the cards. But 5 players still alive for both teams.
Yeah. Renegades have sort of half force-bought into this one. Ricky, of course, hasn't picked up the armor, just so that if on the off chance Renegades do win this, he can buy a little bit extra into the next round. Although, it is going to be difficult. They have got deagles to work with, and we know what deagles can do, but compLexity at the moment don't look like they're going to be throwing away around like what Renegades did last map.
Well, no, you still are going to have to come up with the goods here up the back of B site, and look, he's a good player. I don't want to talk him out of it like I tried to do with 8 with his P250. He showed us that we were wrong. But this time around, it might be a different story. Ustilo's down, Az is down. Ricky now on the site with his deagle. He gets flashed out for a very long time and might get caught out from the side as well if he's not careful. There you go. Uber finds that frag, pushes back to short, finds JKS. Will he get a shot onto him? Back and forward, but the bomb should go down. They've lost 2 players, but now they're actually taking a really long time to get this bomb plant down.
They definitely are. I mean, this is definitely not over here for the Renegades. Yeah, I mean, with the deagle, we'll see what he can do. JKS, I don't know about that Mac-10. Not a huge fan of that weapon in general, but certainly serviceable. At the moment, it looks like Renegades taking their time getting in towards this site. Yam is going to be taken down there, and no trade available for JKS as he's covered off by Uber. So another good round coming out there for compLexity. They only drop a couple of players, and they'll be happy to start off this second map quite well.
Yeah, very, very well. And see what Renegade's going to do. Probably save through this round, buy in round number 4 here. And again, all coming down to that pistol round at the start. Going to cost them 3 rounds in a row, essentially. And it's going to be a rush out onto the A site by the looks of things coming out here from compLexity. They get very, very close to that point, and they've gone the correct direction here. Only one down in dark, and Def might find him. He does. JKS goes down. They're going to try and rush up through connector now. Is compLexity going to have a field day here? They do. It's like duck shooting. Yep. Easy.
It was indeed very easy there for compLexity, those first 3 rounds, but we are going to see the buy round coming out here for the Renegades, and an AWP straight into the hands of Ricky. JKS will just be going with that rifle, one would imagine. But important for Renegades to start off this second half quite well, because, you know, really if they start to let compLexity get the momentum into this second map as well, we'll be really looking towards another similar result to Dust 2.
Yeah, well, this is exactly how Dust 2 started off as well, and it wasn't a great result for the Renegades. compLexity, though, they're looking so good. Let's see if they can continue that form here. Just playing this one a little bit more carefully, as they should, heading into this first gun round. Looks like they're gonna push a couple down into tunnels and try and just maybe find some mid control here. We can see that Yam's up in jungle right now, and he's gonna drop back as smokes come through.
As of yet, Renegades haven't really spotted out any of these compLexity players. And compLexity have got themselves in some good positions here for an A split. A couple of them in towards mid. It's really going to be down to Yam here to find Def, and he does. He'll look for Ape as well, and does manage to pick that one up too. It's a 2-for-1 in the favor of Renegades for now, as compLexity try to make their way now out through main onto the bomb site. Android X23 hitting a good shot onto Ricky. It's now 3 versus 3.
It is. We can see that the Renegades are going to send Ustilo round through CT, but he gets caught out by Surreal. The bomb should go down here. Uber fires through the smoke, finds one. That leaves only Azza by himself. He's got 2 flashbangs in this M4. What's he going to try and play? Is he going to be the hero, save the day? It's a big ask, and up against this AWP, surely he's going to find himself caught out. He uses 1 flash. See how he wants to play this second. Surreal's going to throw out a flash of his own and perhaps try and peek out and find him, and he should. He does, as he gets picked up. 4-0, the score. compLexity going to pick up that first gun round here. Renegades really on the back foot now.
Definitely very much on the back foot. It's a similar situation to what we saw starting off on Dust 2. Renegades, it took them a while to get into that first half, but definitely, once again, not the ideal situation for the CT side at the moment. Just some pistols coming out into this round. Can't expect all that much, but really, compLexity are off onto the right foot here on Mirage.
What's wrong with the left foot?
Right, correct foot.
Just going to say, you're against people with left feet. No. Def going to go down straight away there to Ricky there. So doing some P250 damage of his own. Ustillo finds a frag, and all of a sudden, Uber and Android X, the last two left alive for the team. Renegades have the bomb in mid. They pushed through. They found two weapons, including that AWP.
Yeah, no, they didn't buy that into this round.
Just sitting there with armor. Yeah. So that's a really good result here for Renegades. Uber trying to do something about it, and all they need to do is hold this bomb, and they win the round. Seems pretty simple, Alpha Guy.
Seems pretty simple to win an anti-eco on Dust 2, but
well,
that didn't happen, did it?
Well, so BM.
But yes, you're right. This should be a round in the favor of Renegades, which would perhaps give them a little bit of revenge for Dust 2, although the AWP is going to go down. Ustillo is able to close out the kill in the end, and Renegades are going to be happy with that. We'll take an AWP and an AK through to the next round here, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that necessarily excuses the eco loss that they've suffered on Dust 2. Still,
well, you know,
at least something back into this first half here, maybe a round sooner than they would have expected.
Maybe they're not looking for excuses, Selfish Guy. They're looking for a victory here on Mirage.
That's true. That's definitely
looking
true.
for redemption. That's what we want here. Well, that's what Renegades want. compLexity, on the other hand, would love a 2-0, and they're definitely in a position to pull that out today. Really taking it to the Aussies. Doing a very good job of it.
They definitely are. It's looking like a potential A take here for compLexity. The Molotovs and smokes raining across. Uber will get the entry frag onto Yam. Looks for the second onto JKS. Has a bit of trouble because of the ladder, but in the end gets the job done. And once again, the A hold for Renegades is not strong enough. compLexity going to get there with 5 alive. The bomb will go down very safely. And again, a difficult situation here for Renegades.
Yeah, it looks to me like they're probably going to try and save these weapons. And that would make it 5-1 on the board for compLexity. And Renegades really starting to let this one get away from them here. It's their map. They should be, you know, in position here to win this. They're starting on CT. I don't know what more they could possibly want, to be honest.
No, I mean, maybe a couple more rounds on the board?
Yes, well, you have to earn those, Selfish Guy.
Yeah. At the moment, they're definitely not doing that.
No.
They're going to have a reset coming out here, but they'll be at least able to take these 3 guns through to the next round. So they will have a decent opportunity next round as well here for the Renegades. But it really does feel like compLexity once again making their mark on this map early. As it takes 1, gets traded out. So in the end,
and 8 burns alive.
He gets the post-mortem kill.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So they take two of those 3 weapons through, and they're going to force up behind it here. Yam going to find himself a UMP or throw across a UMP by the looks of it over to Azza. The rest of the team looking pretty good, plenty of utility. So very much a serviceable buy here anyway for the Renegades. compLexity 4 now, sitting at the top of the map out towards B. Only one over towards A main, that's Uber. And he's maybe drawn 1 player across, but that's Yam who can very quickly move back towards mid should he choose to. And looks like compLexity are going to play this round out slowly.
Yeah, compLexity changing things up a little bit, this time more so looking over towards that B bomb side. And, well, the A hold from Renegades hasn't been that great. Let's see if the B hold is going to be any better. And definitely for the Renegades, they're going to hope so, because at the moment, they really need some rounds on the board. compLexity just streaming ahead with 5 already on that T side. It's looking very good, and they'll be hoping to get to something like 10 from this point on.
Ricky pulls back here in jungle. Just trying to be careful still. The B side is where compLexity is stacking up. They've got 45 seconds, and the execute is live here. The grenades, the smoke, the flashes rain out onto the B site. Android pushes out first. He tries to find a frag. He can't yet. Azza in a good spot. Will he get one? He does. Doing work here. Gets taken out. Uber finds that one. Ustillo in a good spot for himself as well. He finds the bomb carrier, but there's so many people in the smoke that he can't see, and Ricky goes down. Uber here on the lurk. Can he find a frag? Pushes in. Does get one. The bomb's still on the ground now. It's a 2-on-2. Uber on 4 HP. Yam and JKS both with plenty of life. He should be able to plant this. He's going to give it a go, and we can see Surreal there holding back with the AWP on short as well. So both these Renegades players needing to come out of market, which is a difficult position to both come from.
Certainly is. Uber's going to take the first challenge, and he's only on 4 HP. Does actually survive that for now. Renegades have yet to actually pick up a kill, and the timer is ticking away very quickly. The defuse kit on Yam is going to be helpful, but really, compLexity are doing a great job of holding on to this one without losing a player. Surreal now holding from short. The job is out on him to pick up the kill with his AWP. He does manage to take down JKS. Just needs to land the shot onto Yam, but won't manage to do it. Renegades getting away with a round there, but definitely compLexity would have felt like they should have got that one.
Yeah, firing into the smoke, just not being able to find the shot in the end, and Renegades will pick up that round win. But they only bring one player through alive. So, again, a costly round, considering they didn't have all that much money to start with. They had an eco round win before, and they were lucky to be able to bring through a couple of weapons that time around. So that's going to help them. Here we can see compLexity pushing out towards the A site, 3 through Palace, 2 through A main. Renegades have 2 in mid as Yam rotates back across to the A site. They can see a couple plays in Palace, and Ricky finds a frag straight up. Surreal almost down as well, and Android X, the last one left alive. Great work there from the Renegades. compLexity dying like it was an eco, but they had guns.
Well, that A-hold looking a little bit better for Renegades than their previous ones had. So some good news for them, I suppose. But still, I mean, the job is not yet done. Renegades have only got 3 rounds on that CT side. They've been well-fought rounds, but definitely compLexity coming into this one still with a bit of an advantage. Although in this round, just the eco. Looks like some smoke's being brought up, though, from compLexity. So they'll try and execute out onto that A-bomb site, try and get a bomb down, see if they can get a bit of extra cash in the bank for next round. But probably not expecting all that much from this round. Maybe Uber, with the Tech 9 and armor, can bring up something, get an AK in his hands, or an M4 even, considering there's no AKs on Renegades.
Well, they've got essentially no armor here, but they brought a ton of utility and used it all up at once here to come into the A site. But the time they get on there, though, the Renegades have surrounded them. Yam finds Ape. JKS here up behind boxes. He wants to find a frag. Uber is just crouching. You need to shoot down. You need to shoot down. But the bomb plan is successful. So in the end, that's probably a successful eco if you can do that. And they've essentially used all that utility to steal a bomb plant here onto the A site, get a bit of money. They picked up Yam and JKS as well. And it's 4 and 5 now. Renegades starting to bring this back here, Elfish Guy. They did this in the first game. This is exactly how game 1 started.
Yep.
Renegades, of course, wanting it to end a little bit differently. compLexity would love to see another 16-10.
They definitely would, and they're going to be buying into this round. compLexity, another AWP coming out for Surreal. Ricky's managed to find himself an AWP as well, so I think this might be the first time we've seen both teams actually having an AWP into the round. compLexity, again, looking to head towards that A-bomb site. It's worked out for them reasonably well in the past, although the previous gun round, when they headed towards that A-bomb site, Renegades just absolutely decimated them on that A-bomb site. But there's only that single player holding A for the moment for Renegades. If they push in now, things could be difficult. Although we do see the rotation coming across from mid. So Renegades get over to that A-bomb site just in time. Azza will find one with the Molotov, finding a second with his M4. And Ricky's going to chime in with one for himself. 3 on the clock there for Azza. And Ricky chiming in with a couple.
Look, by now you'd think that compLexity would probably have worked out. The Renegades have quite a quick rotation around to the A side, even when they only start with 1. That's 3 rounds in a row they've gone A. That's 3 rounds in a row where they've lost. And 2 of them have been gun rounds where they've been decimated very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think they can all probably decide now that maybe just forcing our way onto the A side is not the play we want to make.
Wouldn't mind seeing compLexity just try work mid a little bit there and get a bit of an A split going on, see if that can help them out a little bit. Because sending all of those players through A main and Palace hasn't worked out for them in the last few rounds. This time though, they're once again going to be just on the pistol buy. So Renegades might be for the first time in this map going up in the lead.
Yeah, this could be it. Well, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to ruin it for Renegades here and perhaps see them go down to Ape again. But you would like to think that they should be able to hold this, and Azza should find these frags here with his M4. He continues to fire. He gets 2, and Gonna maybe get taken down here by Surreal. The bomb plant again. They find that successfully, and that's what they need to be doing. JKS through the wall, picks up Surreal. Renegades only lose Ustillo, and they will get this defused down easily. But again, that bomb plant from compLexity is probably all they were after, and they successfully got it.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of rounds, or couple of eco rounds, really, from compLexity, getting the bomb down both times. Their economy is actually looking very good heading into this one, so they're going to have a very good buy. The AWP out onto Surreal and full utilities as well for all of those T players. compLexity will want to bounce back into this one, and we'll see if they decide to work a different bomb site or work a different area of the map first before heading to A. And it does look like the A site this time not the option for compLexity, and perhaps a good idea considering that A bomb site has been held well so far by the Renegades. And really, I mean, 5 on the board so far for compLexity is actually a pretty good result. So again, if they can find another couple of rounds in this first half, they'll be feeling very good going into the second half. But as it will start off quite well in this one, onto Android X23.
Yeah.
It's 4v5 now for Renegades to negotiate.
That was a good good push forward there from Azza. And gets a little bit of information, gets the frag as well. At the moment, they still have 2 sitting over towards the A site. Just being very cautious here. Good to see compLexity changing up a little bit. But as you've said, really, mid-control is what has been lacking here from compLexity. That's we've seen them really try and gain control very, very few times.
Yeah, I think maybe once or twice.
Once they pushed and they lost to an eco from well, a Deagle buy essentially coming out from Renegades, and maybe that they were off put here. This time around, finally, with 45 seconds on the clock, they do decide to push into mid, and that's going to force Ricky back with that smoke there. So we can see that Ustillo's up towards ladder room, perhaps ready to go. And Ape now pushing onto short as well. This should be a B split by the looks of it, and we'll see what Uber can do here up through apartments as well.
Yeah, he's going to just try and make his way in there, but Ustillo holding very well from the ladder room, gets 2 before being traded out by Surreal. Now 2v4 and only 18 seconds on the clock here for compLexity to make their way into this B site. The Molotov probably not going to force Azza out of his position, but Azza decides to peek anyway, and in the meanwhile, Ricky did pick up the other frag. It's a good round on the board again for Renegades, and now 7-5 in their favour. compLexity will be able to buy into this one again, and they will be able to afford an AWP if they desire. Looks like that's going to be the case. Surreal going to be taking that away once again. But Renegades, just in the last few rounds, have definitely started to look better on this CT side. They'll be hoping to get to at least 9. 10 would be ideal, of course.
Yeah, 10-5 would be great here for the Renegades, and they'll certainly be getting closer to it if they can defeat this gun round here for compLexity. I think the compLexity have just been struggling to come to terms with the holds that Renegades have been using. They just haven't been able to work their way through. Look at this, Ricky just drops down and finds a frag. Again, they haven't been getting early mid-control. If they rush A, if they push A, they haven't done any slow pushes onto A. They've essentially come through and just executed onto the site. And it hasn't worked for them at all. B's been 50-50, I suppose. But really, mid's what's been lacking. They've got 2 players up in mid now, and maybe they're sort of realizing this is what they need to do. They will be forcing out, I think, Yam in there. In connector as well, and Def going to get forced back himself by that Molotov. But 1 minute on the clock, 4 players here for compLexity, and it's going to be an A execute for the moment. But those mid players even
that grenade
need to come through quickly if they're going to combine their power here.
Def cleaning up Yam quite nicely, brings it back to a 4v4. So now compLexity heading back onto that A bomb site, but this push is looking a little better. They've got a couple coming through mid and a couple coming through main. So split coming out from compLexity onto the A-bomb site. They haven't lost a single player just yet, but similarly, they haven't actually been able to pick up a Renegades player, and that makes it tough to plant this bomb safely. In the end, it is going to go down. JKS, though, he's going to pick up 2, finds a 3rd, and Azza will pick up the final one from Connector. A very good hold once again from Renegades. They allow the bomb to go down, but really, they'll be very happy with that round.
Yeah, absolutely. Mid-control pushing through Connector was what compLexity was lacking before, but still, they try it now, and Renegades have their number either way. So that A site looking really very difficult here for compLexity to break onto. Renegades playing that very, very well. compLexity able to buy into this round. 5 AKs coming out for them, and a bit of utility as well. No AWP, however. We'll see which way they want to play this. 10-5 the dream here, Elfish Guy, for the Renegades.
That would be the dream for the Renegades, but compLexity, of course, with a buy into this round again. Things are not going to be easy for the Renegades. Def with a nice entry onto Azza. Picks up a pretty easy frag. It's down to JKS. Once again, he needs to find a couple here. He actually drops the bomb, but he doesn't know that. He's going to pick up Surreal as well, so a good passage of play there for the Renegades. 2 for 2 overall now. Ricky will actually pick up Def and make it advantage to the Renegades.
Yeah, they're on the site, but they don't have the bomb, and we can see that Yam coming through A main as well in a good spot to find a frag. Look at that, picks up Ape there as he's reloading his weapon, making it very, very difficult now for the last player here, Uber, to actually do anything. He gets found out, 9-5 now the score, heading into round number 15 here on our second map, Mirage. Renegades picked this map, and we can see why. Once they got rolling, compLexity has had nothing.
Now, Ricky, is he going to take this Dak through the auto sniper? We're interested to see how this one turns out for the Renegades, but definitely potential now for 10-5, which would be a pretty good first half for Renegades, considering the start that they were off to. And just a Tech9 and Galil really here for compLexity, but the other guys have got AKs, so it's not the worst of buys. 8 might be able to find one. In the end, Justillo gets one before Yam does get traded out.
I think 8 killed Yam through his own player there, just through the legs.
Yeah, probably.
Not
going to be too bothered by that, but Justillo holding onto this B site. Well, Ricky coming in with the Dak as well to find a couple, and a very clean round in the end there for the Renegades.
Renegades take out the half 10-5. We are going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with our last half here between compLexity and Renegades. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're into the pistol round here of our second half. compLexity up against the Renegades. It's match day number 15 of the ESL Pro League Season 4 North American Division. Renegades lost the first map 16-10. compLexity showing just how strong they really are on Dust 2. Renegades had nothing. This time around, though, Renegades up 10-5. It's their map choice here on Mirage. And they had a really good first half. A few average rounds to begin. But from there on out, it's been clear sailing here for the Aussies.
Yeah, they've definitely ramped up into this second map a little bit. They started off slow, as you said, but things are looking okay for them now. And if they pick up the pistol off the back of a decent first half, they'll be definitely putting themselves in a good position to pick up the second map and go one apiece. Although Surreal has started off quite well, Az is going to try and challenge him and should pick up this kill, which he does. Takes a little bit of damage in doing so, but really not so bad of a result there for Renegades. Now they have to deal with these remaining compLexity players, and Def is holding on to the A-bomb site quite well for now. He's just keeping the Renegades guys at bay. Eventually he's going to be rushed down here by Yam, it seems, and Yam does manage to pick up the kill. But now, again, 3 versus 3. Now 3v2. The bomb's dropped.
Yeah, JKS and Ricky, the last two alive. The bomb up here in jungle, and they're going to have to work together to get their way out of this one. The A site is not open, but it's you can see there's a decoy up there at the moment, and it's finally going to disappear as well. So maybe they were just forced into rotating back around. 30 seconds on the clock. They can go short, but Ape is there, and it looks like they're going to rotate back through connector onto the A site, which is probably the best position to go with. They're going to use their own decoy and try and force him back, thinking perhaps it was a flash. JKS pushes through into jungle. And Android X back in there as well. He's just holding off Uber in a good spot to find this frag. They're running out of time. Fires out with the USP. Picks one. Might get the second. Surely compLexity win the round. They do. I just want to say that Def, where he played there from sort of the edge of jungle on connector, if you go and watch any sort of guide on how to play pistol round as CT, that's exactly how you're supposed to play that.
Yeah.
Shoot, fire, fall back, use your USP. get away from the Glocks.
Use your teammates to come in as well. He bought a lot of time for the complexity guys to rotate across to that A-bomb side, and worked out pretty well in the end there for the CT side. Renegades, of course, going to be dropping that one. And I mean, they've got a few rounds here to play with, but definitely don't want to be letting any free ones go over to complexity. So they've decided to force into this one and hope for the best.
Yeah, to be fair, the reason I think Renegades won the first half was not necessarily because they played better or they were aiming better. It was just that complexity could not work out how to get through their holds on the site. And Renegades are going to have to come up with something equally innovative here to try and get through complexity, I think, as the T side. Ape holding back here, and he's going to get brought down to 3 HP. So still alive are the Renegades, but they're forced into this round. Maybe not going to work. It's a 3-on-3, so it's not a bad start, I suppose.
Definitely not. A couple of UMPs have been retrieved already as well. So there is an opening into this round for Renegades. They need to choose the right bomb side, and currently it seems like they're doing that. Heading over towards the B side. Wow. That's a great shot from Ustillo onto Def. And Ape, the 3 HP player, is still alive, holding onto the B side solo. But we'll have a pretty quick rotate, but really it's down to Ape. He needs to find one here, and he does manage to do that. Is traded out. Still, a winnable 1v2 here for Uber. He's got 2 very low HP opponents. The bomb should get planted safely by Renegades, and really it's down to this hold now.
If he peeks out here, Ustillo should find him, and he does. Renegades with a crucial round win. 11-6 now the score, and they're forced into that round. Certainly helping them out here, so it'll cut short the potential for complexity to link through a few rounds in a row after winning that pistol. Puts Renegades back on the bye here. Complexity on an eco. And, well, we've seen this before.
Really good stuff from Renegades there. And, yep, complexity not going to have much able to take into this round. So 11 on the board for Renegades. Should be 12 after this one, though. Stranger things have happened. We've just seen Renegades pick up a force buy. It's not out of the realms of possibility to see complexity win an eco here, like what we saw on the first map. Although it will have to come down to a strong play individually from one of them. And one of them that will not be doing that is going to be Def, as he's taken down by JKS.
Yeah, Renegades in quite a default hold here across the map. 1:15 on the clock remains, and they're just going to try and use their weapon advantage here to find picks and find an easy progression onto one of these 2 bomb sites, which is the smart way to play this. We'll see 2 push out onto mid. Ape holding back on B at the moment, and we can see that Azar is coming through unders as well. So he maybe might find Surreal here, or maybe Surreal will find him in connector. He turns around at the wrong time. A little bit unlucky there. And Azar will find that frag. It's now a 3-on-5, 45 on the clock. Renegade's going to push out onto this A side. Uber holding back with the Deagle from CT. Android here picks up Azar into jungle, and he will be able to grab that for Mass as well. Ustillo at range with the UMP now, wants to push in and see if he can take that for Mass out of his hands. Ape at range as well onto Ustillo. Nice headshot with the Deagle. The bomb plant down, and that should be the end of this round. Renegades should go up 12-6.
I want to try and get the FAMAS out of the hands of Android X here. It seems like they are going to be hunting him down. They should get him in the end. I mean, if they drop the Galil, they won't be too disappointed, but if they drop one of these AKs, they might be a little bit. In the end, though, it is going to be 3 guns into the next round here for Renegades. I suspect they'll probably hang on to this Galil as well. The economy's not looking all that great at the moment, and complexity going to be on a relatively poor buy, just an eco probably. So Renegade's going to be happy heading into this one with the Mac 10 on Ustillo. They'll try and get him to pick up a few frags and get a bit of extra cash in the bank. Yeah,
we take a look at these scores. Azar on 20 frags right now, so he's having a pretty good game. We can see that JKS heading up by himself to the A site, but what can Ape and Def do? Nothing.
Nothing really.
Nothing. Get found out by Azar. Yeah.
Good start into this round for Renegades. They didn't want to be losing too many guns in it, and now they have the potential really to not lose any if they can get into this B site quite safely. They just have to deal with Android X, who's holding on to the van at the moment. Although Renegades, as of yet, have decided not to actually push into that site. Ustillo's gone for a big old wander around through the jungle.
Surprise.
And says hello to Surreal.
He does. Yam should find this frag, and Uber now the last one left alive. He's only got that USP and an aid. On the other side of the map, they'll get the bomb plant down. And Ustillo will hunt him out.
He's still just trying to get that final frag so he can get that little bit of extra money. He won't be too bothered by losing the Mac 10 in the end. He'll be able to take it through the next round, but you'd expect he's probably going to buy up something else. Or maybe take the... Maybe they'll take the Galil into this one, Renegades. Looks like he's actually going to take the Mac 10.
Well, they've got... I guess the point is, right, that they've got some money, they've got some rounds to work with here.
Yeah. I would have thought you might just buy the AWP and give that over to Ricky, and he gives his AK over to Yustillo.
That's not a bad choice either, I suppose. Surreal, he's bought up an AWP, but Renegade's going to look perhaps for a fast push here onto the A site. You can see that Yustillo is going to try and push down through Connect, but surely he gets caught out by Ape from short B. It's not going to happen, though. He makes his way all the way through and catches out Surreal, who's probably asking, how did he get there so quickly? Fires a shot, misses it into market, but this is very difficult now for compLexity to do anything. Def up into jungle, finds a frag. The bomb is down. It's 3-on-3. It's still doable here for the CT side.
Definitely is doable, but it's going to be tough. Ape, though, will start off well onto Yam, and there goes Ricky as well. JKS in a 1 versus 3 now. This might be a little bit beyond him. In the end, it's going to be Def to close out the final kill there, and compLexity will win the round.
It certainly will, and, well, good job for them. They'll take 3 weapons through. They'll pick up the AWP that they had originally. The score will be 7-13. Renegades, of course, with plenty of money to buy into this one. I'm not sure if those weapons cost them. Probably not. The Mac 10 was traded for an AWP quickly. But I think perhaps Yustillo needed to hold jungle for, you know...
Yeah, he needed to hit one of those shots into the market. And, like, I mean, he's not really the AWP for Renegades, but definitely it was a shot that he should have hit. In the end, though, Renegades, of course, didn't buy much into the previous round. They will be able to full buy into this round. And, again, the pressure is not released on compLexity just yet.
No, full throttle here from Renegades, and it's been a pretty good map for them so far. They can pick up this gun round that's going to put them in a prime position to take this one out. If compLexity can win this one and start wearing away at Renegades' economy, then perhaps it can be a different story. compLexity, they've won 2 games so far in the last 2 days. They went 1-1 yesterday up against Echo Fox, and they picked up the first map here today, so not a bad week for them considering how they started the week. I think they were like 2-6 or something, which isn't so great, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, if they can bring this back to 4 wins, 7 losses, I think they'll be feeling much, much better about this. Renegades, on the other hand, they've had a good start to the season, and it would be a shame for them to let this go away to compLexity with the 2-0 loss today. Definitely
would be a shame, although at the moment they're poised to pick up a victory. Yes, we'll see how this gun round goes, though. Def holding onto that ladder room very well. Yam and Yustillo are going to go down. The bomb is dropped there from compLexity as well. So, Renegades in all sorts of trouble heading into now this later stages of this round.
Yeah, 31 on the clock, and Renegades with 3 players make that 2. The bomb is in a very difficult position.
Surreal got Def.
Wow.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
And now a 2 versus 3 here for Renegades. I mean, it's definitely doable.
But they've got... Well, if they can grab the bomb and just go to B, that's their win here. That's their play. And we'll see Surreal pushing very quickly into market to try and stop them from doing this. But
not going for it.
No, they're just going to hold weapons. So I'm sure if they saw the map, maybe they would have made something of it. But at the end, they don't really know where these players are, and rushing onto the site, I suppose, is probably not the best choice. If you have to check all the corners, hope for the best. It normally doesn't work out here.
Fair enough from Renegades, though. It will afford them another good buy into this round. So still pressure on the shoulders of compLexity, though the last 2 gun rounds they've been able to answer well, and they are starting to get a little bit of a roll going on here in this second half.
Rifles only here for Renegades this time around, and it might be a quick B push. You can see Yustillo pushing into mid, trying to grab that mid control, and Ape going through unders, trying to catch out the guys here as they head on in to apartments. So he's actually playing this very slowly, and as he hears the little pitter-patter of feet above him, he might now decide to push through. JKS might find a frag. He does. Ape goes down on short. Android finds one, gets traded. This is okay for the Renegades. They're on the site now. They've managed to take out both of those players. I think he actually ended up going back through mid, maybe, to rotate back around. But the end result here is that the bomb plan is down, and they've got a 4-on-3.
Is going to be good. Ricky's going to go down. Uber picks that one up, but JKS was able to trade one back. Ustillo coming from behind, finds Surreal, but doesn't manage to pick up Uber. Still a 1v1, a difficult situation here for Uber. He's actually traded out for the AWP. He's only got 19 HP to work with. JKS has got a couple of flashbangs, and it feels like JKS should win this one, but if he peeks right into the crosshair there, ooh, it could be dangerous. He's going to walk around, and at the moment playing the time very well is JKS. The shot misses from Uber, and the round win goes to Renegades.
Yeah, JKS to get through with that AWP as well. The benefit of the rounds are the end of the round not lasting just as long as they used to. And Renegades now 14-8 up here. compLexity going to force into this round with a very much a subpar buy here. A Scout, some FAMASs, a CZ. Less than ideal for them. Renegades, however, they've got a pretty good buy. Not as much utility as they'd want, but certainly a weapon advantage. And for now, they're heading back towards the B site. JKS just sitting up in Palace at the moment. But plenty of time to work with, and if they play this smart, they should be able to find the picks here with the advantage that they do have.
Yeah, well, the AWP for Ricky, as of yet, hasn't played too much of a part here on the T side for Renegades, although he's had a couple of okay rounds. compLexity now, with that force buy, looking a little bit grim, but definitely they have the potential to pull this one back. We've seen it happen on Dust 2. Are we going to see it happen again here for the Renegades on Mirage? Perhaps not, but Renegades, or rather compLexity, will be giving it their best shot.
They will. Renegades with full mid-control, and they're just going to try and work their way into connector here. Again, maybe this A side is where they want to go. We'll soon find out. One up through ladder. One still sitting back towards Palace as well. Potential for a split onto the site, and there's only Ape here by himself to hold it. Uber with the potential to come through and do something as well. And the bomb going to come back all the way around with 37 seconds on the clock to A main. If JKS can find this frag onto Ape pretty quickly, it will certainly help.
It's a really good read here from Renegades. They've only really got to deal with one or two players over to this A-bomb site. The major stack is over to B. Ustillo's already taken down Uber in the... Well, he was in the jungle, I guess, but Azza going to find Ape on the A-bomb site. And now, Ustillo's in a really good spot to stop those rotations. He will do that onto Android. Ricky's able to pick up Def, and JKS finds Surreal. So overall, pretty good round there for the Renegades. Don't lose a single gun.
Yeah,
and
that was very well played. Yeah.
Struggling.
They certainly are. Renegades now 1 round away from a victory. And I think perhaps that if they do pick this up as they should, it's a little bit of redemption for them. They played very well, to be fair. This has been a good game from Renegades.
Been a much better performance than what we saw on Dust 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, so a 1-1 will be the looks of it for now. compLexity, of course, still in a position to come back, but 15-8 is a very big ask. They came back, what, from 15-12 yesterday, something like that?
Yeah, I think it might have been 15-12, something similar.
But that's an extra 4 rounds and a lot of work, and Renegades certainly looking in form here on Mirage. An entirely different team has turned up.
Definitely, very much looking a lot better here for the Renegades, and compLexity going to be relying on this force by Ricky, though. Will be able to take down Def over towards A. That's already 2 picks in the favor of Renegades, and a 5 versus 3. You almost feel this is going to be unwinnable now for compLexity.
Yeah, probably in the too hard basket, to be perfectly honest. They might... That might just be a case here of Renegades easily pushing through and finding a round, but Azza up here in apartments, he's playing this very carefully. And he's actually got quite a bit more room to play with than he thinks. He spots out Android X23 with that Scout, takes a bit of damage and just drops back. They're going to go A site Surreal down in dark. But they should find him, or will he find JKS? He does. 5-7, even stronger than the P250, but Ricky picks him up. And it's now a 2-on-4. The bomb coming through now. Android X23, the last player left alive here for compLexity. And one can't imagine a scenario where the Renegades don't pick this one up with 16 rounds, 16-8 going out to the Renegades here on Mirage. Going to end the day 1-1. compLexity playing some good CS overall. A great first map on Dust 2. Renegades really, they barely turned up. They played like 3 or 4 good rounds of CS, and the rest of it was, to be fair, pretty average. Yeah,
Dust 2 didn't look so great there for the Renegades, to be fair, and compLexity to pick that one up, they'll be happy about that. I think they might be a little let down that they didn't or weren't able to really follow up that performance on Mirage, but certainly for Renegades, they similarly will be let down that they let Dust 2 really get away from them. So both teams here, I think, maybe not quite 100% happy with how things have turned out, but a 1-1 overall, a pretty even result, I would have said, coming into this one. you know, it would have been relatively expected maybe to see a 1-1, if not a 2-0 for Renegades. But in the end there, 1-1, so both teams going to be walking away with some points.
Yeah, a little bit to take away with perhaps for both of these teams. But ladies and gents, we do have 2 more maps coming up tonight. Splice up against Selfless. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with all of the action.